Well, John Frusciante has a new fuzz pedal on his pedalboard, and this is really exciting because essentially ever since the Unlimited Love tour began, John's pedalboard really hasn't changed that much. There's been a few little tweaks, the odd addition here and there, but essentially for a while now, over the 2 years that the tour has been going on, the whole formula has stayed pretty much identically the same. So the fact that we have a new fuzz pedal that he's using is really exciting, and it's really why I haven't made videos on John Frusciante's gear or stuff like that, because there really isn't that much to talk about. He hasn't been changing things, no new theories have come out, it's just been kind of, steady. They've just been on tour and it's been kind of the same thing as what I initially covered kind of at the start of the tour. But the fact that we have a new fuzz pedal is really exciting. You guys are really gonna, I think, like what you have to hear if you don't already know what he's using, because the John Frusciante gear fan community has been going kind of nuts over this whole discovery. So essentially what happened is during the Tokyo performances on the tour the Red Hot Chili Peppers are currently doing, you could see some different angles of John's pedalboard, and they're on his board in the front row, there's a little platform where it kind of sits in between where you have the Boss CE1 and then the super badass Variac Fuzz from MXR in the first row. There's kind of a little plinth, little platform that was just kind of rigged together so that they could fit one more pedal on the front row of the pedalboard, and John could kind of step on that in between the Boss CE1 and the MXR Super Badass Fuzz. Now, what John was originally using was a Wilson Effects Not the Not Right. It's a not right enclosure, but it's not actually not right, hence why it's called Not the Not Right. But you could tell that he had switched it out with a Boss pedal that was in a gray enclosure, and from certain angles you could just see the reflection in the foot pad that it was a Waza Craft pedal. So this got really exciting because there were two options of what this pedal could be, and depending on your position of what John was using, this was either going to be a good thing or maybe a bit of a stressful kind of, like, oh great, now he's going to just increase the prices of an already hard to get pedal, because the two pedals it could have been were the Boss Solo Sound Tone Bender, the TB2W, which is a super limited, very, very expensive pedal to get on the secondary market, as it already stands, before a John Frusciante effect would be put on the pedal, or the Boss Fuzz Waza Craft version, the FZ-1W. And the kind of debate became that, okay, what is John using? Is he going for the more kind of standard Boss kind of fuzz sound, or is he sticking with that tone bender kind of thing? And the initial photos, you could only just see, it was a gray Boss enclosure with Waza Craft on it, silver screw. It was one of those two pedals, but you had no idea. Then we finally got this amazing shot of some backstage footage during sound checks for the Tokyo shows, where you could just make out that it has more circular knobs rather than the tone bender style knobs, and then a third knob just in the middle, the little one there. So this confirming that it's the Boss FZ-1W, which is really, really exciting for a few reasons. It's great because this pedal, relatively speaking, is affordable. So if you guys are wanting to go out and try a new fuzz pedal that John Frusciante is using, you have the ability to go and just buy this one right now. Readily available. You can go and buy it today and try it out, and I bet it sounds utterly brilliant. I'm sure it's absolutely fantastic. But two, it's just exciting to see John starting to experiment a little bit more, because I've just personally kind of felt that, like, okay, you know what, he's figured out his gear, he's happy with how it sounds, he sounds great, we're not really going to see any new changes. But then just to see him kind of experimenting, it's always fun, and as a fan of John Frusciante and his sound, I always just think it's really cool to see when someone like him is just, even though it's one pedal, he's just experimenting with the sound and trying some things out, because it's just got to be fun for him too, just experiment with something different. Even if he only uses it for a few shows and then goes back to the not right, it's just kind of cool to see him experimenting with the sound, and I think it just means that he's having fun playing and experimenting with his tone, and always on the quest to, find that sound that you have in your head and actually develop that with his board. So it's really cool to see him doing that. I won't lie to you guys though, there is a small part of me that was disappointed that it wasn't the TB2W, because that obviously is a really unique collaboration pedal. I definitely don't think the tone bender kind of thing is John's sound at all, so it didn't make sense that that would be what he was using. I was more heavily leaning towards it being that Boss FZ-1W fuzz, just because John's also used the FZ-3 during the Californication era. I don't believe this pedal is supposed to be a direct, Waza Craft version of that fuzz. It's kind of just Boss reinventing their kind of fuzz sound with a Waza Craft pedal, rather than it being kind of a tribute to the original FZ-3, for example. But just, if he was using a kind of uber rare limited edition pedal, it just makes things a little bit more exciting to talk about, and just like, oh, okay, now he's gone out and gotten something that's very unique, really cool, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting. So there was that small part of me that was kind of like, oh, it would have been cool to see him using, something that's a little bit crazy and hard to find and stuff. But overall, really great thing that he's using a new fuzz pedal that's very affordable and that is accessible for anyone who wants to try out the same pedal that John's using, because it's not always that fun when your hero's using a pedal that is very expensive and everyone finds out, and then it just makes it even more expensive. So I think overall this is the better move, but still really cool that, you know, he's using just a new fuzz pedal, like I've said. And it kind of has sparked something that I think would be a really great video topic too, to get more Frusciante content on the channel out to you guys, because I know a lot of you have been asking for it. There just hasn't been that much to talk about, and the videos don't perform as good either. But maybe a history of John Frusciante's fuzz pedals, going over images, different tones, if YouTube will let me do that kind of thing with the copyright. I think that could be really fun, but it's kind of giving me some new ideas for maybe some stuff I could talk about on the channel to bring some more John Frusciante content to you guys. So if you want me to make more John Frusciante content, like the video, let me know in the comments down below as well. But yeah, really cool, new fuzz pedal. Any more footage or any kind of updates to John's board, as always, I'll let you guys know. There just hasn't really been any. So this is the first time I've been able to really make a pedal board update for Frusciante in a while, or just one that's not just like, hey, look at these amazing shots we have of his board now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since I made Frusciante content, and it's kind of just exciting for me to be able to talk about it now. So take care, you guys. Until the next Frusciante video, we'll see you on the next one.